Yeah, hey everybody, it's Brian with you from TheGameCommon, and we are continuing with our Spring 2020 AI-only Championship Series in Civilization 6. So, we are now on to the second chance rounds, but before we get there, let's take a quick look back at who won the, who's in the current knockout round. So, the first group, Japan, Scythian, Samaria, were the civs that came out of it. Second group, America, Macedonia, and Indonesia came out of it. Third group, we had Russia, Catherine, and Pericles. Fourth group, we had Mapuche, India, and Scotland. That India, by the way, is Chandragupta. And then the last group, we had Sweden, Ottoman, and Dido come out of it. So I don't know if there's really too many surprises. I think Indonesia and Scotland both actually came through for once. And both of those civs have been good in the past, but have never been able to put together a whole round to actually make it to the knockout round. So that's exciting. Pericles, I mean, he's so hit or miss, and he definitely hit this time. But I think pretty much everyone else did pretty good. I mean, you could argue Sweden and Dido maybe were a little surprising, but honestly, they were competing against all the Gathering Storm civs, and so, you know, I don't know if that's really surprising when you consider their competition. So then, for our second chance rounds, once again, I went to Civ Picker, I think it was. Let me pull it up. CivDrafter.com, and essentially, I just typed in all of the civs. Well, what you can do is you can basically ban certain civs, so I banned all the ones that currently had advanced, and then we basically just random the final three groups. So each group is going to have 10 civs each because we still have 30 civs, and then at the end of each group stage, we're going to have the top 3 civs move on to the knockout round. So this is where civs will actually be eliminated officially. So if they don't get into the top 3 in these next 3 rounds, if your favorite civ does, then they're not going to make it to the knockout rounds. I'm sorry. So in group 1, we have Persia, we have Victoria, we have Canada, we have Brazil, we have China, Georgia, Arabia, Hungary, Eleanor, France, and Aztec. Group 2, we have Khmer, Cree, Maori, Poland, Rome, Inca, Zulu, Kongo, Korea, and Spain. And then group 3, we have Norway, Nubia, Australia, Mali, Germany, Dutch, Mongolia, Egypt, Gorgo, and Gandhi. Okay, so I hadn't even spent any time like looking at these groups, thinking about like, hey, who is doing really good? Like, who do we vote is gonna come out of these groups? Now, immediately with this group, I see Victoria and Canada, 2 of the more weaker civs. Then you also have Tamar in there. Oh man. Yeah, so, I mean, I definitely see Montezuma, I definitely see China having a really good chance pulling out of this. Cyrus is a really good civ, but the AI just can be so hit or miss on that. And then the other problems, he's got to deal with Victoria, he's got to deal with Eleanor, and Pedro, man, and even China. So I don't know if he's going to get enough culture to actually advance. So if I had to pick 3 just off the top of my head, I would actually probably go Pedro, China, and Montezuma. Matthias, man, I would probably normally pick him, but man, he just disappointed me so bad in that last round, getting just completely crapped on by Sweden. But watch him just absolutely dominate this time. So we are playing on a large map, so there should be room for everyone. In addition to that, we're still playing shuffled. I had someone mention in the comments, I think it was in the comments, talking about, hey, you should switch up the map types. But I like shuffled because it literally does give you every different map type. And I just don't want to be the one to determine, hey, this map is going to be a continent map when Indonesia's on it and she spawns in the center and gets basically no bonus. You know, although that's very unlikely. It's just like, I'd rather do shuffle and just like, I like keeping the game as random as possible, even with the groups. That's why I like to just random it. So it's like, I'm not giving any bias to anyone. We're just randomizing it. We're going to do 315 turns again. I should probably do it like, you know what? Screw it. We're going to do 300 turns. We're going to do 300 because there's 10 civs now, so it's going to go a little bit slower. So the turns 250 to like 315 are going to get a little bit slower. And there's a random seed map seed. So we're going to hit start game. We're going to load in and we'll be back in just 1 second. And I'll see you then. All right, let's go ahead and launch in. So I was kind of looking at all the different groups while the game was loading in, and I kind of actually think this might be one of the weaker groups. Out of all the groups that are on the list, or of the 3 groups remaining, I think this might be probably the weakest one. Like, probably the weakest civs are in this particular group, but we shall see. The map kind of looks like a Pangea, which is kind of this huge little coastal lake in the middle, which is rather interesting. I kind of dig that. Is there a way to canal out of it? Let's see. So theoretically, you could canal here. Now, it doesn't look like you can canal out of it. Canal there. No. No, it doesn't look like it's going to be possible to canal out of it. So how did our civs end up on the map? So we have China over here all the way on the west side. I have to say, every time China's kind of spawned over on the west side, good things have happened. Every AI-only series, I feel like, when they spawn on the west side by themselves, good things have happened. But they do have Brazil right next to them, so we got some cultural powerhouses here. Brazil has been, well, actually, both Brazil and China have both been a little aggressive in the past, so we'll see how that ends up working out. Then over here, more centrally located, we have Persia. Persia's surrounded by a lot of city-states. They have a pretty decent position over here. Victoria is to their north with, ooh, interesting. Ooh, really interesting. Eleanor spawned pretty much right by the desert. Ooh, and she's got Georgia right by her too. Weren't they close this last game as well? Yeah, they were in that last group stage. All right, so I have to say Eleanor probably got the worst spawn, but keep in mind, she's probably the best civ at flipping people. So we'll see whether or not she's able to flip or if she's just going to get crapped on again. Then Aztec is to the south. He doesn't really necessarily have any close neighbors except Arabia. Arabia, man, once again, kind of getting trapped in because he got trapped in the group stages as well, didn't he, on that little island? And then Hungary just has all of the room in the world. All right, so based on this start, I'm definitely saying Hungary is going to be able to make it. I think Hungary, Aztecs, I would be shocked, I think, if the Aztecs don't make it. Most likely then what would have happened is Arabia would have beaten them back. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. Georgia could end up eliminating Eleanor. She's in a really good spot. But I kind of feel like they're just going to kind of eliminate each other. I'm going to go China. I'm going to go China with my third, even though China spawned in the desert too. Ooh. Maybe I need to rethink that. Screw it, we're going to go Brazil. Yeah. I'm gonna go Brazil, Hungary, and Aztecs. So the only difference is I'm basically replacing Hungary and China, or China with Hungary, from my pre-start predictions. Let's go ahead and enable everything. I think we're good to go at this point. It's going a little slower with 10 AI as opposed to 8, which is kind of sad. Like, it's a little more laggy, but yeah. The one thing I hate about the mod is the fact that it just, like, the fog of war pops in at the end of every turn. I just hate that. Although, in the scheme of things, it's a little less annoying to me now than when we first did it, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm rather intrigued by this giant island up here. It's interesting because you have a city-state here all by themselves. You have a whole lot of room here where no one spawned, and then you have a giant island up here, and it's not just like that single island. There's a whole chain up here of just nothing. There's another island over here on the west coast, so theoretically China could go settle out over there. China could also go settle down here too. I mean, China does have a decent amount of territory. They really do, despite the fact being on the corner here. They also can go up there. Brazil also has quite a bit of room. Yeah, Brazil has a lot of room. I think Brazil is going to be fine. I think it's going to be Brazil. I do. And Hungary has a whole freaking butt ton of room. And then there's some islands over here as well. Okay, so let's see. Arabia is currently battling barbarians for basically survival right now. And it looks like they're about to get declared on by Aztecs. So, yeah, we could see that one coming a long time away. And oh my God, Eleanor freaking conquered Georgia. I take that back. Okay, I actually thought Eleanor would get conquered by Georgia. I did not see Eleanor being the one that could actually go on the offensive. What's crazy about that is, I mean, that's a river crossing she ended up having to conquer across. That's hardcore right there. Now, she is losing, that's not the capital, but she is losing the town right now. Is she going to be able to hold on to it? Yeah, okay, she is. Rather interesting. Alrighty then. What's Arabia? They did get their third city down. They're trying to put city number 4 down. Doesn't look like that's gonna happen. Baghdad's just gonna instantly fall here if these Eagle Warriors are able to get up there. I wish we could see how many amenities he had so we could see what his warriors are rolling at. I mean, we could sit here and like calculate it manually. I mean, he has a bunch of amenities. He's not working any of them right now. He does spawn with 2 amenities. 3 amenities? 3 amenities. 2 amenities. 3 amenities. Nope, 2. 2 amenities in his capital. So it looks like he's going to be at least +2 on those Eagle Warriors eventually. Or actually, it's all his units, right? Okay. Baghdad did jump up to 18, so that's good. Makes them a little more survivable. They did do a lot of damage to the Eagle Warriors, but I still think they're in a lot of danger. It looks like we might have peaced. Nope, you're still at war. You're just not defending yourself. Because Georgia's like trying to ninja the capital. Doesn't really seem possible. Victoria's sitting here with a lot of territory herself as well. So she's got some chances over here. Hungary is currently being invaded by barbarians as well. That is not his capital, so he's got to be a little careful. Probably Hungary and Persia will declare war on each other. Persia still only has 2 cities down, but they have two settlers up. Interesting. And then do we have China? It looks like China and Brazil are at war, but China did get walls up. So it's going to be, I mean, my gosh, China has all walls in every city. So I don't think Brazil's going to be able to take anything. I might have to go with Victoria now, or sorry, Eleanor, as opposed to Brazil, especially since China got those walls up. I see it's going to be rather difficult then to conquer it. So a couple builders here for Aztecs. They're still at war, but they basically have no Eagle warriors now sieging down Baghdad. So I don't think Aztecs are going to be able to take a town. Interesting. That's gonna be hard. Because usually, and we talk about this many times, when the AI declares an early war and they're not able to take anything, that tends to set them back a lot. So we'll see whether or not they're able to buck the trend here. The thing that really sucks here is the England, their units look a lot like the barbarians. They're the exact same color, so it's kind of hard here to tell what's going on. I'm intrigued to see whether or not Persia is going to declare war on either Hungary. It looks like they might have declared on Hungary. Nope. Whether they're going to declare on Hungary or England. Wait, we never saw Canada. Oh, Canada's down here all by themselves. Wow, what a crappy start, man. Wow, what a crappy start. They spawned in the tundra. They only have 2 towns down. Yeah. Poor Canada. I mean, here's the thing. That's always going to be Canada. Canada's always going to get a crap start because they spawn in the tundra, and any civ that spawns in the tundra is just always going to suck. Unless, of course, it's Russia, but Russia has so many crazy bonuses that makes them pretty much impossible to beat. But anyways. So barbarians are still doing a better job than Montezuma at fighting fighting Arabia. Aztecs are also fighting a bunch of barbarians. First era, what happened? Okay, Persia, Tamar, really, and Hungary got golden ages. Everyone else got normal age except Arabia. Now that might make it a little harder. Nope, never mind. And if Eleanor can put a town down, yeah, especially with this town here, she can put another one there. This town's gonna be fine. In fact, she will probably start flipping here eventually if she can start getting some. Well, she's got holy sites popping out, which isn't bad because she could get some relics. But she really needs to get those theater squares here before too long. What are we looking at with yields right now? Canada 6 and 9. My God, freaking player numbers right there. Victoria is actually the highest on both. Interesting. She is under siege though in her capital. She won't lose her capital, but if she loses a bunch of units, Persia may end up hopping on her. Persia and Hungary did end up defeating the barbarians that were currently sieging them. Canada's just like stuck. You know what it is? He can't really settle out. I mean, I guess he could come up this way, but I don't think he can move his settler in the water yet, so he's kind of stuck still. God, that sucks, man. China is now pushing towards Brazil. I don't think he's going to be able to take Brazil, though. He doesn't have enough units yet. China's really going to start coming in their own, though, once they get their unique unit here in a couple eras. And, I mean, they really could start doing some damage there, especially if they're getting good science, which it's okay, but Brazil is currently beating them. Eleanor got John the Baptist, so she got a religion. So our religions are Georgia, Hungary, and France, and Eleanor. So 2 of our religions are right here, and then the other one is down here. And then France is up here. Wait, Brian. France, no, sorry. Hungary, France, and Georgia. France is Eleanor. My brain died there for a second. Who else is gonna get it? Probably Persia. Persia's gonna have, if they get a religion, that's gonna be really good for them because they're gonna have all of this that they'll be able to convert. So they'll be able to get a lot of religious points, most likely. Early scores, Pedro's in first, China's in second, Matthias is in third, Eleanor's in fourth. It's so early though that is really too hard to determine. Eleanor is still currently dealing with Georgia. She's trying to go settle another town. There's a lot of mountains on this particular map, which is making traversing the terrain a little bit difficult. Did I see a suzerain? I did. Hungary suzerained or levied one of their Cahokia, it looks like. Dang. Yeah. He suzerained Cahokia. Wow. And he levied it. The troops already. Okay. Interesting. Hungary is currently trying to spread their religion to Persia. Now, remember, Persia gets a religion, it's just going to immediately flip it back. So we'll see how that goes. Persia's looking like they're going to go settle right on top of England, which is going to be interesting. England's looking okay right now, though. I'm pretty impressed. England's one of those civs that never made a second chance or made a knockout round. So if Victoria can make it, I would be pretty stoked with that. I just like seeing the underdog win. I always root for the underdog, unless my teams are involved. But I don't really have a team, except Teddy, I guess. But, you know, Teddy's not my favorite American leader. Although, you know, he's a cool leader. He was definitely not my favorite. Who would I see? Man, I would rather see FDR. I think FDR would probably be one of my favorite American leaders. Surely. I mean, Washington, Lincoln, yeah, sure. Yeah, they're great, but they're like Teddy. I mean, they're cool historical figures. I don't know. I'd have to really think about that. I don't know if I have a favorite president. That's not like one thing that I like wake up being like, man, you know, my favorite president was so-and-so. Like, I don't know. Presidents are servants. I don't, you know, at least they should be servants to the people. So there shouldn't be like a ranking list. They shouldn't be praised. They should just be like, hey, way to go. Good job. You know? Marseille ended up flipping. Oh, interesting. Probably because of Aztecs. Well, that changes things. Yeah, it puts Eleanor in a bit of a bad situation. Did Aztecs get a... It's got a normal age. Interesting. Really kind of confused by that. I guess Aztecs do have 7. They do have a lot of food down here. Yeah, and she doesn't have a lot of food. So I suppose that makes sense. But dang, that sucks, dude. Yeah, that really sucks. If she can end up in a golden age, she can probably flip it back. But she really needs to start getting this town down. We're focusing a lot on her right now, but there's not a whole lot else going on. Persia is still battling barbarians. Hungary is not spreading as quickly as he could be. He still has a lot of room. Aztecs are still dealing a lot with barbarians. He's still also trying to take over Arabia. And he's got walls now. Arabia's got walls in every town except Baghdad, which is the one town Aztecs would be able to take. I don't know if they'd be able to hold it. It looks to me that he wouldn't be able to hold it at this point. But he's got to worry more about barbarians right now than Arabia. And then over here, we still have Brazil and China currently at war. But like China, there's no way Brazil can take anything. There's no way he's going to be able to beat down walls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. China's got 5 towns up. Brazil's at 5 as well. China's just looking a little stronger, man. I don't know. Maybe it's just because he has a little bit more territory. Brazil's got better science and a heck of a lot more culture. Victoria's starting to fall behind in culture. She's falling a little bit behind now, too, on science. Montezuma's in first, which will benefit him eventually for trying to take over Arabia, but we'll see. Marseille is down to 4 turns, and then it's going to flip. It looks like Georgia's trying to grab it. I don't think Georgia can hold it because she got a Dark Age. No. That would be good for Eleanor, though, if she would take it, because it's just going to flip again, and then she has a chance to potentially take it back, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think it'll flip over to Aztecs. So Aztecs, ironically, despite absolutely failing their war and being absolutely destroyed by barbarians, is in a pretty good spot, but not because of him, mostly because Eleanor helped him out. Now, Georgia has a lot of room to settle, and she did move up and start blocking out Eleanor. So Eleanor's strong early start is looking worse and worse and worse. And now she's turning south and going after England, which I'm assuming she must have pieced out Georgia. She did. Once again, though, she has the Dido syndrome here, where there's no way she's going to be able to hold on to any of these English cities just because of the loyalty in the desert here. Yeah, just having a desert between just makes it almost impossible to take the cities. A butt ton of barbarians, though, are spawning over here between between England and Brazil actually lost one of their settlers. Ugh, interesting. China's popping out a whole bunch of catapults, which is going to be pretty good at taking... and it looks like Brazil might end up losing another freaking city, another settler. Huh. Interesting. I mean, all these catapults are going to be able to do a lot of damage if China actually ends up pushing. Now, are they at war? They might be peaced right now. Nah, they're peaced. Okay, that's what happened. Persia might be fighting Hungary. Yeah, Matthias did declare war on Persia. But, A, there's no way he's going to be able to take any of the towns. Like, look at the freaking defense of this. Like, there's one pathway. There's 2 pathways in, and both are through mountains. And this one, it's through a mountain, and then you have to cross a river. And... you're basically getting shot by the city if the city ever gets walls. And then this mountain pass is just like hills. Like, it's just going to be ridiculously hard for him to conquer. He also is rolling with the Immortals, which Immortals are 30 on melee, right? 30 melee, 25 ranged. So they're a little weaker than swordsmen. Oh, the crossbows, though, are going to make a big difference. But I still don't see him being able to push over here into Persia. Yeah, Persia should be fine for the time being. So we're going to have a whole bunch of wars that aren't going to really amount to much. Hattusa's falling to Eleanor, which is probably a good thing. Eleanor taking Hattusa would be a little bit more able to hold on to Hattusa than Plymouth, at least. Let's see. Persia, Brazil, and Georgia all got a golden age. Actually, heroic ages. Wait. Georgia had a dark age last time. Shouldn't she have a heroic age? Huh, interesting. Then everyone else got a normal age. So you are flipping again. And I'm wondering if you're probably flipping because we got a little bit of pressure over here from France, but then the golden age here is what's pushing you. You do have a person there. So you're not losing a whole bunch of loyalty, and you'll probably be able to hold... Oh, that's what happened. Georgia ended up ninjaing one of the Aztec cities. What the heck? Wow. When did that happen? There's no way in hell... Well, she's currently holding on to it, which I think is... How? How? What? What? How's she holding on to that? I feel like there's enough population here. There's no way you should be able to hold on to that, even with the golden age. But dang, dude. I mean, here's the thing. I would imagine Brazil's going to be able to take it back. I would be shocked. Sorry, not Brazil. Aztecs, I'd be shocked if they don't take it back. Aztecs are really just kind of screwing this game up, man. They had a really good start. They had a really good position, and they're just not doing well. I mean, honestly, there's no one that's being super impressive right now. Also, I didn't know the Great Wall could actually be pillaged. Yeah, I don't think that could happen. What happens if you pillage the Great Wall? I don't know if that got pillaged in war or if that was like a desert thing. Pillage. I don't think anything happens. Pillage award gold. Oh, all right, there you go. Plus 10 combat strength. Actually, let's go ahead and condemn because they'll never do that. And my borders won't grow because they'll probably vote to grow borders. We should wrap this episode up. I should have wrapped it up right there. Dang it. How's Eleanor doing? Well, she's still trying to grab Hattusa. Does she have theater squares? That's really the key. She's building them. Because if she can start getting military emergency against Georgia, interesting. If she can start getting some theater squares up, she can start flipping. Now, the hilarity about this is Georgia wasn't able to call military emergency, losing a town to Eleanor, but she gets one called against her for taking a town. So it's kind of like Eleanor took a town from Georgia, who took a town from Aztecs. Now, Aztecs, you need to take a town from Arabia, and Arabia, you need to go ninja, I don't know, Canada. Is Canada still at 2? Canada is still at 2 with a whole bunch of ships. Yeah. I think Canada is going to be the first one eliminated. Doesn't seem like that's going to change. Hong Kong's probably going to end up falling to China over here. They do have their Crouching Tigers up, so this is where things going to start getting rather interesting. Jiadong ended up losing their walls, but I think they're going to be fine long term. They might not. They're still not at war, right? Nah, yeah, they're not at war anymore. So I wonder if that got pillaged from a flood. That's what it looks like. I think it flooded. I don't think Brazil ever had enough damage to actually take it. England is trying to take Rapa, which is interesting. Also, England still has a bunch of potential to come settle over here. She is not at war with anyone, right? I don't think she has been at war with anyone. She might jump in on this war over here against the Aztecs, though. All right, well, we're going to wrap this first episode up here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like, comment. Let me know what you think. As always, hit the subscribe button in the game, comment, share your support. Second chance rounds are going. Hope you guys are enjoying them, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, everyone.